First of all, welcome. I am very honored that you are asking me questions.
I'm honored to have
Yes,
questions.
and you're welcome to ask me anything that you're interested in.
Okay, can you tell me a little bit about your childhood? What was it like before the Nazis came in power?
I was born in Poland, and I was in Poland as a Polish citizen, a Jew. Fortunately, I had a wonderful childhood, not only from the point of view of physical well-being, but I was given an unbelievable support and love by my parents and grandparents. And then when the war started, we were displaced from our home in Warsaw and ultimately occupied by the Russians and ultimately by the Germans.
Did you live in a ghetto?
Yes, that's where my mother was killed. My mother was executed by the Germans in the ghetto of Przemyśl. When she faced the executioner, my mother, she said, "You may kill me, but you will never get my husband or my son." And she was shot. And then my father and I were deported to Auschwitz. You know, we went through a selection. The SS was selecting people to the right or to the left when we arrived at Auschwitz. Those who went right went directly to gas and were killed. The ones that went to the left were put into the camp as a forced labor. And many died of hunger and disease, and some, like myself, were lucky enough to survive. Left forearm tattooed as you enter the camp, and this became the name. There was no more Marcel Tuchman. It was this number, 161,740.
How did it feel to be called a number and not be called by your real name?
It was part of degradation from a human being to some kind of a thing. We were not human beings and treated as such. We were just objects.
What was a typical day at concentration camp like?
Well, hard work, not necessarily purposeful, carrying stone, cleaning fields, and very often just tortured. We were infested in Auschwitz by lice and typhus, which was a deadly disease.
It's really amazing that you survived.
It's amazing because I was just stubborn. I said, I won't give them the joy of burying me.
So what would you like kids to know about your experiences, and what would you like kids to know in general about the Holocaust and what has happened?
Remember, in the lessons of this unprecedented catastrophe, which nearly completely destroyed the Jewish people, and which allowed dehumanization of people. Every human being who has a brain and beating heart, whether a child or an adult, must learn from that and perpetuate the idea of respect for a human being. Your fellow man or your fellow woman, your fellow creature must be respected. Your interest is reflecting, hopefully, the generation's view that we must never forget.
Yes.
And you are an example of it. You see, you're a youngster now. You're not sitting at home or eating, ice cream, but you are learning about what is good and where you can be helpful.
Yes.
And my hat off to you.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Tell your
meeting you.
parents that they should be proud of you. I am, and everybody who is a decent human being should recognize that you are an example.